what do you do if you have a manager, but they don't actually do anything to help, guide, or support me? I was always getting bi-weekly meetings with her canceled, and when we do them, she always just says, yep, everything's fine. Okay, I struggle with this one. I'll tell you how I feel about it personally. So one is I don't really like to be managed. I believe in feedback. I like to get feedback, but I also simultaneously hate it, and then I really hate being told what to do. So in some ways, having a manager that doesn't meet with you that much and doesn't deeply engage with what you're doing, it's not always the worst thing. It probably means you're doing a pretty good job. It probably means that you're delivering on all your objectives. And it probably means that he or she has bigger fish to fry and they've got worse problems to handle. That's the positive. I think that type of situation, if you are very self-motivated and very driven, and you can self-perpetuate yourself and self-grow your control and your impact and your sphere of influence and your accomplishments, that's good. The thing that sucks is that most people aren't great at that, and they need some type of encouragement. They need feedback. They want to understand how they're doing. They need help and guidance in building new tools or putting new tools in their toolkit. So in this case, your manager just sounds kind of disengaged. So I don't think that's a great sign. If I were in your shoes, one thing I would do is find other mentor type people or other people at your manager's level who you can have a relationship with and who you can learn from. All I really ever care about at work is learning and doing things and testing and learning and seeing what I can figure out or what we can experiment on or what things I can get better at or develop. So I think what's important for you is you really don't want to be in a job where the experience itself isn't teaching you, or the manager, him or herself, isn't teaching you. So you want to get that exposure. I think the second thing you could do is, if your one-on-ones always get canceled, just send an email update. Just say, hey, I know you don't have a whole lot of time. I just want to be proactive and tell you what I'm working on. I feel guilty about this. I see Chase. Chase runs production now. Chase is doing an awesome job. He's crushing it. He's open. He's approachable. He's fixed so many things here. I don't ever make any time for Chase. And it's not because I don't care about what Chase is doing. It's because Chase is doing such a good job and everything else here is on fire that I just don't spend the time with Chase, and that's bad. So I also think that, making sure you do pop in, and as a manager, making sure you do reach out to the people, and especially the people who are doing a really good job. But in this case, if you want to be sure you're on the right track, find other people who can mentor and support you. Do be proactive in reaching out to your boss. And then ultimately, if nothing changes and you're not getting new titles or promoted or more responsibility, and you're just kind of floating along because everybody else is floating along, maybe you want to choose a new job. All right, second question. My manager never, ever, ever makes me or my team feel appreciated. They have a very large sense of I'm better and more important than you, which results in them just barking to things to do at us and never saying thank you and making us feel like our work is never good enough. Should I say something? Absolutely, you should say something. So one is, I think, it's like skills for adolescents. Did you guys have to take skills for adolescents? I don't know. My middle school was fucked up. I had to take skills for adolescents. Or maybe there was something wrong with me and I was fucked up. But so skills for adolescents, you were supposed to go through this exercise where you said, I feel because. So you always constructed your statement to someone. It was kind of conflict resolution, nice conflict resolution. You were supposed to say, when you bark at me and humiliate me in front of my peers, I feel down and demotivated because I've worked hard on this project and I feel like you don't understand. I feel like you don't appreciate my contribution, or you don't recognize the amount of work in it. So I definitely think you should say something. My gut is that you're not alone in feeling this way. My other gut is that your manager isn't going to take well to the feedback. I think your manager sounds very, very callous, and your manager also sounds insecure. So I do think it's worth saying something, and I think you should just be pretty straight up about it. You can use skills for adolescence or not. And you can just say, hey, look, like, don't make it a we thing, because that'll make your manager feel defensive. Just make it a me thing, which is, hey, I've been working super hard on this project. I'm really proud about blank, blank, blank. I did these things. I see the contribution to the company. I'm excited about what this could mean for us. And I just want to get a sense of, am I delivering what you're expecting? And I would try to have that conversation in a one-on-one environment and see if your manager is more open or more appreciative in that environment. And then when the manager is like, no, that sucks, I told you to get back to the salt mine, do this or that or whatever, I think you can say, hey, you know what, like, I really want to stay at this company a long time. I really want to grow my career. I want to do better and better work. And I'm feeling demotivated because I feel like my work is never good enough. The effort is never enough. I feel like my hours and time and the investment of my energy and myself isn't appreciated. And I would just open the conversation that way and see what your manager says. And then if the manager doesn't change, and this is just kind of like it is the way it is in your group, then I would leave, or I would find a different group to work in your company, because subjecting yourself to that kind of situation for a long period of time is going to be really depressing for you, and you don't want to spend your career like that. Third question, when do you know you're ready to be a manager? I've taken more responsibility at work, and by doing that, I've naturally had a few younger people fall under my radar. Should I be getting paid more now that I'm technically managing them? Should I ask my manager what we're doing about this? Okay, you have a lot of questions. One is, I don't know that anybody's ever ready for anything. Like, I'm not ready for my life. I don't know. Like, I just don't think anybody's ready for anything. But sometimes you are a manager. So clearly you have fallen into the bucket of being a manager. So first of all, congratulations. Second of all, before you go asking for more money, before you say, what are we doing about this to your manager, why don't you work on being a good manager? So what does it mean to be a good manager? Have a vision. Share that vision with your team. Create a sense of team. Create an environment where the younger people who are falling under you, they understand what the expectation is. They understand what your vision is for your job and their jobs. They feel supported in their efforts. Say thank you. Buy them food. We just covered this. And really make sure that you are creating a high-performing group. Now, once you get that underway, then you go to your manager and you're like, hey, I'm managing these people. My scope of responsibility has changed. The depth of my job has changed. And I want to be sure I'm being compensated for the increased performance I'm driving for the company and the increased scope of responsibility I have in my job. So that's what I would do. So that's Q&A.